I am Frank, host of Reid on the Record podcast. I'm coming to you, well, I would say live. This is a live recording from the state of South Carolina. I am prior law enforcement from the state of South Carolina, over 10 years of experience, having worked at a sheriff's department as a deputy, then an investigator, then at a state level law enforcement position. I am currently a full-time instructor with John E. Reid and Associates. My co-host of the show, Dan Malloy, was unable to join me this morning, so I decided to do a solo episode. There is really one matter that I wanted to kind of bring to the forefront, and this is why I decided to do an episode today. I've been receiving some text messages and emails from former attendees of our seminars, and I'm just going to sum up the gist of these emails that are being sent to me, as well as some of the text messages. They say, Frank, there is this guy, and I'm going to redact his name right here because I'm not trying to drag his name directly through the mud, and it's going to become apparent in just a little bit. But there is a retired law enforcement officer at the local level from one of the states in the Midwest. So this could be the Dakotas, this could be near Nebraska, around that area, Idaho. I'm not going to tell you exactly what state he's in or what state he's associated with, but this individual has been trashing the Reid technique in all but name. All right, well, what do I mean by all but name? He has described us as one of those, quote, legacy interrogation schools that is based on bunk science, I believe is what his word was. And I'm not going to go into this in extraneous detail, but he's all over LinkedIn. He has his own YouTube channel, and he has been fighting tooth, nail, and claw to promote his very own school of interviewing and interrogation. And I looked this person up, and I have to say is that we here at John Reid and Associates, we are just absolutely unimpressed with this individual. He's one of these retired people out of law enforcement. He may have had a couple of home runs when it comes to really good cases that got some media attention. But when it comes to the actual brains, academic research, and just real world experience of interviewing and interrogation, while he might be able to help some individuals out there, personally, I just think he's lacking. But here's the thing about it. In order to build up your brand, just build up your brand. You don't have to attack other people. That's why I'm not going to just drop his name in here. I don't believe in just personally attacking someone unless they're there to defend themselves, or unless it's like a reaction video and the listeners to that reaction video can actually get a sense for themselves exactly what I am critiquing or providing some feedback on. But this individual has been trashing the Reid technique in all but name. I believe he's named some of our steps out there. I just would like for the attendees to know a couple of things. We are aware of this individual. We are keeping an eye on this individual. But here's the thing. We don't really care at the end of the day at this point, okay? The reason why we're not really too concerned about him is that these schools, they tend to crop up. They normally do very well the first 8 months of their existence. But then after that, once you have that first crop of people who you manage to pull in through your network, those interrogation schools tend to drop off after that. They are left with the cold, hard reality that a majority of our nation's interviewing and interrogation market is actually locked up by John Reid and Associates and possibly 3 other major competitors that are on the market right now. So I would like to address the attendees that have been, bringing, to my attention some of his videos. I'm not going to be doing reaction videos on this person. I just don't want to give him any more oxygen than what he's already gotten. But here's something that you need to keep in mind, okay? If you are a detective, if you are an investigator, or if you are a supervisor and you're looking for a school of interrogation to send your people to, if you want to send them to clowns like this, by all means, go ahead. By all means, be our guest. Enjoy the madness, as I say. But here's something that you need to keep in mind, okay? I will be playing some segments on this podcast by Joe Buckley, our president and CEO of John E. Reid and Associates. Joe Buckley has testified numerous times under oath about the Reid technique. Joe Buckley has faced off against these so-called false confession experts. We not only protect our brand, but if you were to look at the lawsuit that we filed against James Trainum, we protect the ecosystem of interrogations itself. So when you send someone to the Reid Technique of Interviewing and Interrogation seminars, your money isn't just going towards, a certificate. It's not going towards the workbooks. Your money is going towards keeping the legal system safe and conductive for law enforcement. We are law enforcement's #1 advocates for interviewing and interrogation. There are revisionists, there's reformists, there's people out there that and generally don't know what they're doing when it comes to interviewing and interrogation. And they want to do away with interrogations altogether. One reason why interrogations are still permitted in the United States is not only because the Supreme Court allows it, but it's because advocates like John Reid and Associates have been fighting for this ever since 1947. So what you're getting with John Reid and Associates is you're getting not just a certificate, you're getting not just the very best methodology of interviewing and interrogation, but you are supporting the ecosystem that's going to be safe for law enforcement to continue to do interrogations in a manner that is safe, legal, and ethical. What these fly-by-night schools are doing is they're given by these individuals who they might have some talent with talking to people. I don't want to take that away from them. They might have some home runs under their belt. They may have been on Netflix. They may have been on news channels or specials. But here's the thing. Most of their confessions, they lucked out on. It's not because of their methodology. Look, if you just sit down and you're not mean to someone and you just talk to someone, there is a high probability that you will get a confession from that person. Now, what we teach here at John Reid and Associates is that confession has to be double-checked and independently verified before we will accept it. But I could take someone off the road and make them a good interrogator simply by being nice to people. And also luck and timing has a good deal to do with interviewing and interrogating people. And when you run across these schools of interrogation that's given by these retired law enforcement, just keep that in mind. Ask yourself, what are they basing their material off of? If they say that they're basing it on the latest and greatest scientific breakthroughs in behavioral science, what's their credentials for doing this? We can back up what we base our methodology on. I often tell the students in my class, I say, the Reid technique is based off of the American justice system, behavioral science, and good old-fashioned real-world experience. What are they basing their methodologies off of? And here's something else. If your confession, the methodologies that you employ to get that confession becomes challenged in court, is that instructor school going to back you up whenever the rubber hits the road? Are they going to back you up? Or are they going to distance themselves from you? Are they going to shut down their business entity and open it up under another LLC so they can avoid any legal responsibility with you? If you follow our core principles, our best practices here at John Reid and Associates, we will help you out any kind of way that we possibly can. Joe Buckley, our president and CEO, is in the process right now of developing a product that will help you testify in court in case the defense attorney drags one of these false confession grifters out there to cross-examine you or to give testimony in court. We're going to help you out on that. We're helping you out not only on the front end whenever you show up in one of our seminars, but there is an ocean wave, an ocean movement of forces that are helping you that you don't even know about. So, to kind of answer the listener questions, the people that have come up to me, we are aware of this individual and other individuals like that. But here's the thing with them. Pay them no mind. If you want to put your money where it's going to help your career, it's going to help your personal and professional development as an interrogator, as well as a human being, stick with us. Just stick with the Reid technique of interviewing and interrogation. Go out there and take these other schools out there if you want to. What I always tell the people at our courses is, hey, if you want to really test the Reid technique of interviewing and interrogation, then go out there in the real world. Are your confessions substantiated? Are you discovering the truth? Are they independently verified? Are they ethical? Are they legal? Then guess what? We're probably going to be the best ones out there. So in short, we are aware of these types of people out there. We're aware of what they're saying to us, but pay them no mind. If some of you would like for me to respond to some of these schools, if you want me to specifically respond to an instructor, I'm going to have to show a lot of prudence. And what I'm probably going to do is, unlike these reaction videos that myself and Dan Malloy have been doing, is I'm not going to go and just jump on there and immediately react to their material. Because they're prior law enforcement and I'm prior law enforcement too, I'll probably reach out to them behind the scenes and see if we can reach some kind of understanding. But with that being said, we are aware of them. We're particularly of the individual in the Midwest. We are aware of him. And I would just like to say, as former law enforcement, I was always taught that if you have a problem with someone, then you take it up with them. Now, unless that person's crazy, unless they have some kind of anti-personality disorder of some kind, maybe a direct confrontation is not going to help you. But for those of you out there who are prior law enforcement, just absolutely trash talking the Reid technique of interviewing and interrogation, come to me personally, or go to Joe Buckley. If you don't approach us directly with your concerns and your challenges, in my book, you're no better than a freaking coward. And you're probably a fake and a phony. So that's going to be the episode for today. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you are listening to this on the podcast, if you could leave us a review, we would really appreciate it. Thank you, and stay safe out there.